What's going on, everyone? I'm here with Sid.
Sid, yeah.
What is your full name?
My full name is Hamza Syed, and then I took my last name and was super creative and augmented it into Sid, which is now my artist name. So there you go.
Nice.
Super creative over here.
Tell us about a little bit of your background, where you grew up.
Sure. I actually grew up in the west suburbs of Toronto, so kind of around the Oakville and Milton area. That's where I was domiciled for most of my life. And then I moved to Toronto in 2018. I actually, I guess this is relevant to what we're going to be discussing today. So in 2018, I was working in banking and finance, and I made the bold decision to quit my job and move to Toronto to pursue music, just because that felt like the right move at that time. So yeah, it's an origin story of Sid.
I'm sure there's definitely more to it. So when did music become a hobby?
Yeah.
And then start becoming as part of your identity? Like, how long have you been doing this, and when did you realize that was a thing for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So actually, my journey with music started as a teenager. I kind of had a natural affinity for music. I always would just listen to it. We had like a keyboard at home. I would just go on and I'd figure out melodies. And I remember my parents and my brother would be like, "Hey, you're pretty good at kind of just figuring out melodies from what you're listening to." And I'm like, "Okay, maybe there's something here." And then in high school, I was introduced to rock music. I'm sure, if you remember all the bands that were popular at the time, especially like Blink-182, Sum 41, Billy Talent, all that stuff. We were all up in that, and I love the sound of the guitar.
Actually, I think was it Billy Talent that's from here, or Sum 41 that's from here?
They're all from here. Yeah. I've crossed paths with a guitar player from Sum 41, Dave Brown Sound. He was playing with one of his other bands. I remember that was a pretty cool experience. This was maybe like 10, 15 years ago.
Well, tell us that story.
Yeah, I was in Burlington, and I was at a bar called Jersey's, which some people might know. It's kind of like a little fun hot spot that's popular there. And yeah, he was playing, I don't remember the name of the band. But we walked in there and I'm like, holy shit, that is Dave Brown Sound from Sum 41.
Wow.
And I talked to him and I'm like, dude, you're like one of my heroes, like I used to love listening to your music grow up. You're part of the reason why I started playing guitar. And to be honest, he's someone of like similar ethnicity playing guitar, which wasn't really common at that point. So that was also something that was important to me at that point, because it just wasn't common for brown guys to play guitar. To be honest. So that was a cool experience. But in terms of what got me into music, I remember I was in grade 10, I want to say, and a couple of friends of mine showed me Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, and I heard the guitar in those bands, and I'm like, fuck, man, I got to learn the guitar. I got to learn the guitar. So I went to my dad. It was around my 16th birthday, and I said, "Dad, I need you to buy me a guitar." He's like, "Okay, I'll buy you like a cheap acoustic thing, but I'm not paying for lessons, because I don't know what you're gonna do with this. So you go ahead and figure it out." And I did figure it out.
So I guess, how did you start learning? Once you had that guitar in your hand, you're like, "Okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Where's the next step?" Because I think, I don't know if YouTube was much of a thing back then.
So YouTube was actually just starting to get going, right? This is I guess what year would have this been? 2006, I want to say. So YouTube was maybe just getting going. I'm sure MySpace was probably, full on at that point. Everybody was best friends with Tom at that point, or whatever the hell his name is. Luckily, I was surrounded by friends who had already been playing guitar for years. They'd been taking lessons and whatnot. So we just go and we just jam. I'd go over to their house. We jam out a little bit, and I would honestly just sit at home and I'd listen to music, and I would just pick it up by ear, So I'd listen to Led Zeppelin 1, I'd listen to Black Sabbath, Iron Man, War Pigs, all those classics, and I would just try and figure it out by ear.
Nice.
Really on my freaking acoustic guitar.
No note giving, or did you find anything online that had some notes?
Maybe a little bit. Eventually I transitioned into, I think it was called Guitar Pro. There was this app where users would upload tabs and you could figure it out. So I would kind of use that as a reference to maybe figure out the songs. But I don't know, at that point I just had the natural instinct to want to learn it by ear. I didn't really think too much about it. Again, I'm like 16 years old at this point, I don't know shit about shit.
Yeah.
So it was very organic, I guess, in that sense.
And I guess you found the will to want to learn, and regardless of like how fast you learn or if there's any structure, you're just like, I just want to get in there.
Exactly.
And I guess the mastery, if you do it over like 10,000 hours, then eventually you'll get really good at it.
100%. Yeah, that hit the nail on the head with that. Yeah, I mean, I would just sit in my room. Like I would go to school, I'd go to my friend's house after, we'd play video games, or we'd play a little bit of 21, like that basketball game or whatever. Then I'd go home for dinner, and then after dinner I'd just sit in my room and just play guitar.
Seems like a dope lifestyle as a kid. Just like play games with your friends and then like...
Loved it. Take me back to that time, bro. Life was so simple.
The 90s.
Pardon me?
The 90s or early 2000s.
I'm not that old. I think you and I are around the same age, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm 89.
I'm 90.
Okay.
Born 90.
Like
yeah,
super similar.
Yeah. So it was the 2000s, right?
Yeah,
I mean, what a fantastic decade. I'm sure you remember.
Before social media, really.
Yeah.
We even like had dial-up at one point. Like
absolutely.
Which
is, oh my God.
Never thought.
AOL?
Yeah, I never thought something like Facebook or Instagram would be a thing and becomes like the biggest like marketing tool.
100%.
Like, ever.
I remember when Instagram was literally just a photo app. I didn't really use it. I knew it existed. I might have created an account and had like 15 followers.
Yeah.
You know, but I never used it.
I can't even imagine back then how hard it was to promote parties. Like, I'm very personal. I understand going out in person is probably the best way to meet people in contact. But before it was like flyers, like handed out flyers.
Yeah.
Everything's digital now.
Absolutely.
Like literally going up to bars, like local shops and stuff, just like networking like crazy, just to build like a database. And then promote the party somehow. And like some of these parties, I haven't even lived that era where it's like you see a flyer, you contact it, and they contact you back with some sort of location. Like that I haven't even lived through that time. So like I found it that I didn't realize like even Snapchat was such a great way to market your parties. Right. And I think when I first started nightlife, it was Snapchat, it was Instagram stories.
Right.
And I was always wondering, like, why are people filming themselves? Like, so often, especially this person in particular. Then he started talking about, like, oh, like, you know, it's for work, it's for clients. And I'm like, it didn't really ring a bell up until, like, I got into the night scene.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, this actually makes sense. Like, people are curious about what's going on with you to see, like, what's popping. And then you're like, oh, that seems very interesting. Like, I really want to...
They want to go there.
Into it.
So for yourself, when you got involved in nightlife and live music, were you just going out yourself and then just meeting people more organically, or were you doing it in combination?
My story was different because it wasn't like I was going out because I was going to be in the night scene, like I wanted to be a promoter. It just kind of fell on my lap. Yeah. I was going out because having my own practice and having my own business, I understood it is a people business, like any business I should get into. For sure. So going out, I was like, hey, you can actually get clients here. I just never thought nightclubs was a thing until I was actually in it, but experienced it through like a different lens. Yeah. Like, cause I was hanging out with Sergio Senatore, who's still in the game right now. Like OG, everybody knows who he is. Everybody loves him. Yeah. I had a chance to work with him, but even before I started working with him, he really elevated the nightlife experience for me. Right. And I was like, wow, this is like legitimate people that you can do business with. If you want to shake hands with, I guess, celebrities eventually, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, so I went out, tried to make genuine connections, and I was going out so consistently, and he kept graciously inviting me out, eventually asking me to work for him, because I just saw the value of going out, and I just kept doing it. And I wasn't trying to be a promoter. I wasn't like, yo, like, put me on. I'm sure like he's had a lot of those people that like, oh, I want to work for you, I can make you lots of money type of thing. And you know, I kind of faced the same way when like later on when I started working. He essentially like handpicked me, and I was like, wow, this is great. I might as well connect myself with the greatest person, like one of the best people. Yeah. And it kind of just snowballed from there. Like in the heyday, it was 5 nights a week, once a month brunch parties, like from 2017 up until like 2024. Obviously COVID happened, there's a whole story with that.
Between for sure.
Yeah, so that was going on for a while, and it definitely like flipped my life like 180 in terms of my people skills and, you know, building your own brand, learning from other people and connecting with it, and everything for me was like more organic. So it came out of just building connections genuinely, building a community. That happens usually over time when you put yourself out there, right?
For sure, and you gotta stay in it also.
Yeah, and then I think the promoting elevated me faster. Nice. Because I came from like knowing nobody to like knowing everyone all at once, and now it's like hard to remember everybody. Right. Yeah. And it's like you'll meet them once or twice, and then like a year later, it's like, oh hey, like I remember you from this party or whatever. But I feel like people talk bad about nightlife. I think people that are not in it. But everyone kind of congregates there. Like whether it's people from the music industry, especially other DJs, healthcare, like people in health, like a lot of fitness people go out and party.
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
party
absolutely.
often, but when they do, they're nuts.
Some of them do party.
They go
you know what I mean?
crazy.
I used to work in the fitness industry in 2 years. In the city, I worked in like different gyms, so I got to know a lot of people in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
Hey man, some of them absolutely love the nightlife industry, you know, and they do a good job of balancing the two.
Yeah.
At least from my perspective. But what you're saying is spot on. Nightlife is basically like the ultimate hub.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have like someone who works for this company go to this company, and then they're going to go to their company's parties or whatnot too, right? Like that's all very business, and you know, there's the parameters there.
Yeah.
With nightlife, it's kind of open.
Yeah, and especially in Toronto, it is such an international central hub for everybody
Absolutely.
around this area.
Yeah.
Anyone that's trying to make something out of themselves, this is like a great stepping stone.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, if you're in this area, this is the place.
Yeah,
right?
and like I try to position my life, one, like freedom and access is what I try to work towards, and like positioning myself, like right now we're at the Soho Hotel, Meridian Cafe.
Yeah.
And it's central. Right. I could.
We're about as downtown as we can be.
I could live 10 minutes that way, but like I'll have way more opportunity like over here, just because where I am. I'm right next to the Bisha Hotel.
Yeah.
They have the best parties on the Wednesday night, the rooftops.
Yeah.
So you go there and like everyone's there. Really, really, really good networking. Like
super good networking. Yeah, and
really
again,
good networking.
you've got King Street West right over there.
Yep, the entertainment district.
District, and even if you want to go to other clubs, right? Like again, Coda's really not that far from here if you think about it, right? So you got Vertigo right down there, Stories right there, Bibliotech. So you know, downtown it's big, but it's not as big as you know people maybe portray it to be.
When you plug yourself in, like truly, like you'll realize how small it is. Because it's like this person knows that person knows this person.
Exactly.
And like we met through Nicolina, right?
Exactly.
And Nicolina knows all these other DJs, and I'm close friends with some of them. So
for sure.
So it's like it's all. I call it the Fickle 500.
And even you and I, we crossed paths. I think I was at either Mr. C or Coast, right? Just passively, probably just said hi, just shook hands. Yeah. And that was it, right? And then a couple years later, then we reconnect through Nicolina.
Yeah,
so it's just funny how it works.
And like, you know, once you cross that like proverbial red velvet rope, it's like once you're in, you're in. It's like I kind of assume that you're about it, you're about the life, and you kind of get it, and just kind of see where you're at.
You can go on social media too, and you can kind of see, you know, like I mean, it just is part of it, right? Like someone you see them playing gigs, they've got posters, you know, so you see that they're active in the scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Let's try out the coffee.
Yeah, for sure.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Espresso. I'm not the biggest espresso guy, I will say, but this is nice.
Espresso every day. I'm here like every day. Okay, next question.
All right.
You started as a guitarist and songwriter.
Yeah.
Before electronic music, right?
Yep.
What did electronic music allow you to express the traditional instruments didn't?
It's a really good question. So, as a guitar player and a songwriter, I am working with other musicians, right? Like, I mean, still doing that in electronic music, but when I first moved to Toronto, right? Obviously, at that point, I wasn't in the house and techno scene. I was still all about the guitar. So I was playing in bands with other people. I was working with singer-songwriters. That's a big part of it also, right? People who are vocalists, and they need a guitar player and someone to help them compose music and play live. When I first stepped onto the dance floor, or once I found house and techno music, it may sound a little self-centered, but I'm like, oh wow, I could actually play music or create music without really needing to get anyone else involved, right? Like I can build my own sound, and I don't have to like schedule band practice. I don't have to.
So logistics,
and just being honest, you know, when you work with vocalists are a particular breed. You know, you think about like the Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, or like.
They're characters.
They're absolute
personalities, egos.
Like again, if we're using pop music as an example, take a look at Maroon 5. Okay. Do people know the other members of Maroon 5 besides Adam Levine? No, Adam Levine is Maroon 5. He's the face, the voice, the figurehead, and then everyone else is kind of playing their role.
Right.
So, as a guitar player and songwriter, I had to deal with that also, even on the local level with local bands. Right, the singer, the vocalist, they are the center stage. They are the face of the band. And you know, maybe for me, it's like, you know what? It's not that I need the spotlight exclusively on myself, but just this is what I have to deal with if I'm in the world of bands and singer-songwriters. So electronic music kind of opened up this gateway where I could be a musician, essentially, and not have to worry about that. And I actually liked the fact that DJs were almost, and again, this is 2018, 2019, so social media and the whole maybe main character energy thing that has, you know, taken over the scene wasn't fully integrated yet. So I kind of liked that the DJ was almost like a little bit hidden, and they're just curating the vibe, right? And that's not to say that they didn't have some level of spotlight on them, but the job was really just to be the conductor for the dance floor.
Yeah, like nowadays the DJ is the main focus, and before it was like DJs were tucked in the back.
Exactly.
Maybe even up high where no one really cares.
Where no one cares.
Yeah,
because again, it's the dance floor, right? They're playing the music for the dance floor. The focus is on the people dancing.
What do you prefer?
That's a good question. You know what? I'm going to take a safe answer, say maybe a little bit in between. Not that, because again, what I like to play clubby environments where maybe the lights are like a little bit low.
Yeah.
You can still see the DJ, and maybe the DJ is doing their thing. They're not completely hidden.
Yeah.
But it's not taking away from the dance floor, right? But you can still have your moments, because again, hey, if a big drop is coming in, or if I want to get the audience riled up or whatnot too, I like being able to do that too, you know, because then you have that connection.
Yeah.
One thing, maybe this might be a funny quirk of mine, but I've seen videos of me when I'm performing, and I have moments where I look up and I do kind of this like head swivel where I'm looking at the dance floor. And it's just a natural thing I do because I'm looking at the dance floor, right? I'm trying to making eye contact with people, seeing where the energy is, saying, okay, you know what, maybe these people, they want a little bit more up, so I gotta change my BPM. You know, I gotta start playing a little bit harder, or maybe they've had a lot of sustained high energy tracks, so I'm gonna bring them down. Because maybe people wanna take a break, maybe they wanna go to the washroom, maybe they wanna go grab a drink or whatever. You know, these are, I'm sure you know also, because you're a DJ and artist also. You have to be mindful of those things. Right? So that's something that kind of evolved over time. But ultimately, to answer your question, I just saw opportunities with electronic music and dance floor that just I never saw as a guitar player. I'm like, holy shit, I can build a whole sound. There's obviously the whole world that goes with it too, because the world of bands, especially rock bands and singer-songwriters, is pretty insular, you know? Like it's pretty self-contained, where I feel like electronic music is almost endless,
right,
in terms of the directions you can go in.
So did you start producing first before you started going on the decks, or did you play the decks first?
So I actually started learning production first.
Okay.
What happened is I was still, so in 2019, I was still like doing the band thing and working. I was working specifically with one singer-songwriter who was doing great. She had big ambitions and all this stuff. But I started going to more local parties. Started going to Coda, started going to Vertigo, started going to smaller events, and just understanding the music more, understanding the culture more.
Was that before, like, I guess, making connections in the industry?
Very much so, yeah. I was very much one of the guys like on the dance floor, right? Like complete, no, and I'm not saying that I'm a somebody now, but at that point I was just completely lost amongst the crowd, right? And I like that, you know what I mean? Because at that point I was just exploring the music, understanding the culture, and slowly letting people know that, hey, you know, I'm a musician and I'm trying to understand this domain and see how it functions. And then before I even touched a pair of decks, knew anything about Pioneer or CDJs or USBs or Record Box, any of that, I downloaded Logic Pro X because I was using GarageBand, I guess, to record stuff at home for fun. And I just started learning the fundamentals of production, which I think actually really served me quite well, because it allowed me to connect with the music first before the whole social fabric, if that makes sense, right? So I really started off with the passion for the music. You know, I was listening to, and I remember I had like a good friend of mine who kind of pulled me into this scene. He was showing me music from Anjana Deep, Sudbeat, Hernan Catania's label, and just sending me more like kind of underground labels and showing me these different DJs. So it was a very fun period, right? Because I'm like listening to music, I'm understanding the different labels, listen to tracks, and I just go in Logic and I'm just like throwing stuff on there and trying to like recreate it myself.
Yeah, I think these stages are more like the explorative, creative stages before it gets into the business. Because like when you get business, like there's a part of it is like, okay, how is this going to?
How do I get booked?
Yeah,
how do I get paid?
How am I going to distribute this information so I can get booked for like later gigs? Or who do I talk to? And it becomes a whole different side of your brain.
For sure, and I'm sure you've, you know, because of your trajectory also, where you're a promoter, you're ingratiated in the nightlife, and then you also evolved into DJ as an artist. I'm sure you've crossed paths with people who like get in and they're like, I want to be king, I want to be the top shit, and maybe they don't even really know how to mix for like 2 hours at this point,
insane.
right?
Or like they think they can do it because they look at the highlights and they base the DJ skills off that one highlight.
Exactly.
And I'm like, no, it's like actually way more to it.
Oh,
like,
it's a whole craft.
Yeah, I'm making a lot of content behind that.
That's good. I'm excited to see it.
It's a lot of fuel. I actually just posted one. I kind of lost my train of thought. Should we move on to the next question?
Yeah, we can. I mean, that was kind of my thing of how I got into it. I can also talk about how I got into DJing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so unfortunately, my whole journey with learning production started 6 months before the pandemic, right? So the whole world shut down. And like, you know, there was the ups and downs, but I'm sure you remember when we got into the cycle of just nonstop lockdowns. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, is this industry just done now? Is society over? What the fuck? So I actually ended up stepping away from music because I was also let go from my job because of the pandemic. So, you know, real life stress started to come on, and then I want to make sure my family's okay. I want to make sure my friends are okay. I want to make sure I'm okay. I mean, obviously the pandemic was the pandemic. Can't control that.
Yeah.
And then maybe like, I want to say maybe 8 months later, you know what, man, fuck, like, whatever. Forget society. I want to get back into music in my own way and do things. So I went to Long and McQuaid and I just got a controller, you know, $300-400 controller, and I'm like, I'm just gonna learn how to DJ on my own. I don't.
DDJ 400.
Yeah, DDJ 400. Yeah,
that's
the
my
one.
first one.
Yeah. Hey, I still have mine. Still works great. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, same.
That's where I learned. That's where I learned how to DJ.
Yeah.
So I started downloading tracks and then just learning how to mix on my own. You know, when we were allowed to be with a few people, I had friends that I'd made. I'd be like, hey man, you want to come over and jam, and you know, you bring your USB or you just show me what's going on. So just kind of like organically learning how to DJ again, and then I'm sure you remember the outdoor party started happening.
Yeah.
Like the renegade parties.
Those are dope.
Yeah. So there's me and two of my close friends. We would just go to them and whatnot. And then as I started making connections, I told people, I'm like, hey, you know, like this is what I'm doing right now. Like I'm a musician.
Yeah.
You know, I want to DJ and whatnot. And luckily at that point, I met some pretty cool people. They're like, you know what, man? Like put your music on a USB. We've got outdoor parties. You can just come and open.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that was like pretty much those renegade parties were the ones that you started.
Literally where I started. Yeah.
Like
Yes.
from 0 to 100. That's
From
fucking,
0 to, I was literally, I remember, Darren, I was at there was this group called Highway 6.
Yeah.
And they were doing a lot of awesome outdoor parties. And the guy said, you know what, man, just come and just play for an hour at the beginning. And there was maybe like 8 people there, but that was enough.
Yeah.
That was enough, you know, 8 people there was enough to be like, oh, you know, this guy, he's clearly passionate about what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's his first time playing in front of fucking people.
Yeah.
But he's not sucking, you know, like completely, like there's something here.
Yeah.
And then people are like, hey man, you know, that was good. Keep going, keep practicing, keep getting better. And then that culminated, and I ended up playing like 4 or 5 outdoor parties. And by the end of it, I'm like, holy shit, okay, cool. Now I'm starting to figure out the DJ side of things.
Okay.
And then 2022, I went to the Wiggle Room and I talked to the owner and I said, hey man, you know, I'd love to like open. I've been playing outdoor parties. You know, can you give me my shot? Can I open? And he said, you know what? I've got this little party coming up. We've got a 1-hour opening slot. Sure, man. Let's get you on there.
You just asked.
I just asked.
Simple.
I just asked. You know what I mean? And I'm asking earnestly. I'm not saying, hey, I'm going to come again, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to bring 500 people with me. You need to pay me $1,000. I just want to play on CDJs, you know, want to see how this works. And he did it. And then that's it.
Was it mostly pro bono work?
Mostly
in the beginning, was it pro bono?
No, actually, for the Wiggle Room, I guess this is a good part for them. No, he paid me.
Okay,
he paid me. It wasn't a crazy amount, you know, but he's.
But I mean, that's like.
Yeah, for sure.
Payment is just out of respect, depending on the.
Absolutely, yeah. He just paid me, right? Because he's just like, you're playing a club gig. I pay all the other DJs who play here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pay you also.
Yeah.
And that was great. And then just again, word of mouth, continuing to improve my sound, continuing to build my relationships, and then it just kept moving from there.
Wow, that's amazing.
So,
man, those renegade parties, how I
miss them.
I met someone through like another private like outdoor party during COVID. And she seemed really plugged in. And I was working at Coast at the time when it first opened up. And it was like 1:30, and I get a text message of like a location. No context, just location. I'm like, is this a rave? No, she didn't reply back. And I'm like looking at stories, like, and then I found other people were there too. I'm like, yo, is this it? I'm like, guys, like, look at this. It's like 1:30, normally 2 a.m.'s last call. So 2 a.m. hits, I'm like, yo, we're going here right now. And then we just jet there, and then it was just like the time of my life. Like,
amazing.
Didn't even drink that night. Stayed up till like 7 in the morning, just based off the vibes.
Just based off the pure energy. Pure energy. Music and people.
Yeah. And like, only if the music's good that it can actually get me like up 100%. All night. 100%. Zero alcohol, up all night.
That's
all my
amazing,
friends are just pleasant, just having a good time. And we always talk about it till this day. I have it somewhere in like my Instagram highlights if you scroll back a bit.
It's a core memory.
It is a core memory. Because it was like a friend's birthday too, and he was having a good time. Every time he's like, yo man, that was like the best birthday I've ever had. Like and went with a couple DJ friends too, and now they're doing big things. So
that's
cool.
Awesome, man.
It's cool. It's cool. Definitely brought a lot of people together. I thought it was gonna get shut down.
But hey, you know what? Sometimes the universe is just on your side. You know.
It was cool.
That's awesome.
I feel really honored to be a part of like how Mr. C and Co started, because even now that I'm not promoting it, I'm not a promoter because DJs aren't promoters. Anyways, like it's still banging. They're having their opening party this weekend.
I know. I'm excited. I'm excited for like the rooftop series to get going again too. You know what I mean?
It's still a beast.
Yeah.
It's still a beast of a party.
I can imagine. Yeah. I mean, I went to a bunch last year and it was a great time. You know what I mean? Like Sergio really like he holds down the fort.
Yeah.
Like it's like always when you walk in there, it's consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not easy. So
no.
But he knows what he's doing, obviously.
He always says, "You're ain't as good until your last party." You know what I mean? It's if you wet the bed last party, then you're shit. Like, I took it to heart too. That's why it kind of drove me to like literally have the best like party all the time. Because I'm driving to like, I was the guy in the front, like on the floor, just like messaging people.
Like come on out. Like come on out. If you're gonna go out tonight's the night, you know what I mean? Or you're sitting at home watching TV, nah, man. Get ready, come on out.
I don't know how we used to do it because it was just me and him at the time. Just me and him, solo. Of course, we have a few like supporters, but then you know his current wife's now Jing started working for us, and then they fell in love. They got married. It's a very beautiful story.
That's awesome.
But and then now since I left, there was like two others like kind of like came like right after me. And it, you know, there's no newer promoters on the scene now, so it's refreshing to see all that, and it's still going hard. Like
it's still going,
It also comes down to like the systems. I feel like he just has a system that's like so consistent. That even if someone that like me that like was pretty successful, I would say like I've been in the industry for a while. And I would leave and he'll somehow pivot, find somebody else, and then just create this new little beast, you know?
It's like new like iteration of whatever's happening. I mean, hey man, we're in downtown Toronto. People were gonna want to go out and party, listen to music, and meet people. You know, so
people are hungry when they have a reason or a purpose to go out. Then like I found my purpose and it seemed to be working out. You find yours. Like we're all in this journey together.
We're all in this journey together, and we're all just trying to find our way. You know, there's no pinnacle. There's no pinnacle, which is part of the beauty of being involved in this. There's no like, oh, I'm going to reach this and then it's all done. It's like, no, you can always change or modify or pivot. And then we also have the rest of the world too. You know?
I feel like if Toronto was definitely a good, I don't want to put like say stepping stone, like a cornerstone. Like I don't know what's
it could be like it could be like a,
because if you can do it here, you could do it in a lot of places. You know, like the skills that I've learned here, I feel like are just so transferable that I feel like that's taken me like around the world kind of thing. And I know people that started in Toronto right now are in Dubai, are in Bali, Thailand, whatever they are, they're killing it.
And they're killing it, but this is where they started. And the thing too is, you know what, I mean, again, for me personally, I will always see it as home base, right? I grew up here. This is where, like, you know, I grew up in the west suburbs, like I just stated before. Toronto is where I started. This is the city that got me into electronic music. This is where SYD started. This is where SYD has grown. So no matter what, this is always going to be home base. Right,
roots.
So it's my roots. So go play in another city. Go play in freaking Asia, South America, wherever it might be. But Toronto's always going to be home. You know?
Never forget where you come from, man.
Exactly. And it's important, you know, especially again the people. They're the ones, right? Who's booking me for gigs here? It's the promoters in Toronto. Who's coming out of the dance floor? It's the people that live in Toronto and the GTA, right?
We're in the people business.
We're in the people business, So never forget where you came from, you know. And here's the thing too: if you get too high for your breeches. Or whatever the phrase
people to humble me. My close friends are gonna.
I think people will humble. People will humble us.
We'll definitely start talking trash.
Like, I know things about this guy.
Well, man, keeping a clean image, that's another.
That's a whole different other thing.
Especially, I mean, it doesn't take much to be kind to people.
No. It doesn't. It can be.
It goes a long way.
It goes a long way, and if we're being completely honest, it can be challenging at some moments also, right? Like you can really get tested. Especially,
you get tested all the time.
And especially, oh my God, and especially, I'm sure you know this too. Especially when you want to get behind the decks and play music. You know what I mean? That's because again, you've got that. The DJ has the ultimate target on their back, right? It's the most coveted position, arguably in the scene. You know. So I think you have to, and I'm saying that especially if you're going to be, like, you should treat people with respect and kindness no matter what. Especially if you're going to be the one who's going to be up on stage getting paid to play music. You gotta. That's gotta come first and center. You know? And again, I'm just being honest. It's not always easy because you're constantly being tested. We're only human. You know?
I mean, some of the best advice that I got from in nightlife was from somebody that I didn't even like. So I didn't show it, but. I didn't like him, and I was working with him at one point. But anyways, he said, "Don't lose it," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, just don't lose it. And I'm like, okay. It sat with me for a bit. He meant like, don't lose your cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this guy before, he got into a couple fights and whatnot. As he was kind of exiting nightlife, that's the last thing he said to me was like, don't lose it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kept it to heart, and I was like, anytime that someone tries to test you, whether it's another person in the industry or some patron that wants to touch your girls, like that tries to threaten you, and I don't take it personal, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Like sometimes people won't actually do anything. Actually, for the most part, they haven't done anything, because I haven't gotten in a fight in nightlife.
Right.
I've been shoved once, but then when that happened, security like was all over it, and I was like, okay. And generally speaking, because I work at the space, like I feel really safe. Like I never, nor will I ever abuse of power. But at the same time, like some people just need to let something out, and then they're chill.
I mean, honestly, it's like I think just if you're out and about in the world and it's past 10 p.m. and there's alcohol involved, that's always going to be a risk factor. You know? And I mean, usually house and techno culture is pretty chill. But you know, you think about
we used to work at hip hop clubs.
Oh, you do? Okay, hip hop clubs. And I mean, even if you go to like drinking bars, like Irish bars or whatever, or whatnot too. You know what I mean? Even before I went to house and techno, I've seen all kinds of dumb shit. You know what I mean? People get too intoxicated or aggressive. So I think the risk factor is always there. I'm gonna be completely honest. I've had moments where I've lost my cool, and it has cost me. You know, both in nightlife and both outside. I can admit that.
Okay.
You know, and it's severely cost me. But then again.
Yeah, you ruin relationships. It's not worth it if you end up fighting.
You damage your reputation, you know what I mean, among certain circles. You know, and then again, the hardest part is dealing with your own guilt and shame afterwards. If you're the kind of person who is willing to be introspective and learn from their mistakes, you know. So for me, I've had to learn the hard way of what losing your cool can cost you. But then again, I step back. I had to remind myself of what I'm doing. I did my best to make amends. And, you know, some people are like, okay, I'll forgive you. Some people are like, I won't forgive you. You know what I mean? I hate you. And I want nothing to do with you. And you're like, okay, I burned those bridges. But I also don't have to carry the weight of those situations. And then ideally, if you're like, you know, if you want to grow, then you grow. You grow as a person, and then you move forward. You know, and again, we're human. Think about how many celebrities have done the stupidest shit. Yet they still get, you know.
The worst is because they're celebrities, they're bigger than us two combined. The spotlight's on them. But imagine that in a young, impressionable person that's under 25 and their brain is like not fully developed. It's a lot on them. I can see where a lot of stress, they won't be able to handle it. Maybe they resort to substances. And then, like, you know, you've heard a lot of celebrity deaths, right?
Of course,
It's that becomes like a whole mental issue topic.
100%, and I mean, again, I can't even imagine, like, you know, with celebrities, they're almost painted as these like pantheons of human beings of like perfection.
Yeah, they're put on pedestals.
They're put on pedestals, but they might be dealing with some of the worst mental health issues. You know what I mean? Especially if you're getting into substances and access. They've got money, they can get whatever they want. I mean, one really impactful book that I really read was actually Matthew Perry's autobiography. Right? Chandler on Friends, you know, global fame through that. Horrible addiction. I mean, it took his life. Right? It took his life. And again, with the money and the access, again, if you read the book, it's harrowing. You know, because you realize that all that stuff did is just amplify the core demons. Which he unfortunately was not able to address in this lifetime. You know? And then if you extrapolate that to electronic music, Avicii. Same thing happened to him also. You know? So yeah, harsh reality of
it pretty much amplifies like what you're going through.
Exactly. Which is why you have to, again, everyone's responsible for their own stuff, right? Their own issues, their own demons or whatnot too. And maybe sometimes in the industry these topics aren't really discussed. They get kind of buried so that people can put the music and the glamour and that stuff forefront. But then again, Avicii, perfect example of what happens when you play that game.
Or even on a local level, you definitely see people's egos a lot. She was essentially like a nobody going out, and then a year later gets like a nose job and has like 20,000 plus followers after one post, and then you can just see her personality just change. Or was she always like that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Did it just bring it out? You know what I mean? And that can be tough to also experience when you see them getting opportunities where, like, again, you know, just we're talking before, I'm sitting in the studio and I'm trying to find the right hi-hat samples for my tracks. You know, I'm spending hours and hours digging through music. I'm going out by myself to like talk to club promoters and whatnot too, and then you have this whole, you know, you have to really put in the work
Yeah.
to even get any sort of opportunities.
Yeah.
And someone gets nose job and a bunch of followers, and all of a sudden,
And big tits. The
big,
next thing
big tits, and now you're fucking getting paid like
Yeah,
2-3 grand to open for this major artist, you know, and you're like, oh my god, you're like, what is life?
I mean, is it true that people are paying to even go on certain spots? I wouldn't be surprised if that's a thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do this. I mean, again, I could see why someone would want to do that, but this is where like the moral issue comes in, because again, you put in all this time and effort into building your craft and your presence. You should be the one getting paid. You know what I mean? And again, you have.
But as a venue owner, for example, or someone that's hosting events, if you know one chick can bring 100 people that are paying hundreds of dollars for tickets. Would you do it, or would you sacrifice the integrity of the brand?
I mean, I
feel like, is there a real wrong answer to it? But because at the end of the day,
it's business.
It's a business.
Clubs
are a business, and DJs and artists should understand that.
Yeah.
So playing just your sound or playing for yourself is one, selfish, because you're not engaging with the crowd. Like I know good DJs that technically are very good. But then on personal skills, they're not.
Right.
And then when you put them in a situation, rather than adapting to the crowd, whether if it's your place or not, you still have to adjust to like what's going around you.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Well, and especially if you're being paid, that's what you're being paid to do. Right? You are the DJ. You are the vibe creator. You are the personality of the night.
Yes.
Right? So, and I mean, I know there's a lot of producers who run into this issue. They're like, I have a great collection of music, and promoters are like, we don't give a shit. Like, what's that doing for us? You know what I mean? It sounds harsh.
But it's like, but it's true.
But it's like, what? It's like, I've got all these DJs here that can bring out 200-300 people. You know what I mean? And they've got, not only are they bringing people out, they're bringing out the energy. So I'm going to have a fun night while I'm hosting. You know? So if you've been producing music for 5 years and you've got your super experimental techno sound, what good does that do me? You know, and producers can get very offended by that, but
it's the harsh reality.
It is a hard, exactly.
It's a business.
It's a business.
It's a business.
Yeah. So you know, I extend that to, you know, if you want to play the game, you got to play the fucking game, right? And again, I'm not trying to be arrogant, but for me, I think I just maybe have more perspective because I'm doing both. Right? Like I'm DJing in the city. Luckily I'm a natural extrovert. You know, I got lucky with that. So because if I'm by myself for too long, I get kind of weird. I like being around people. I like socializing. I like having a good time. And then I'm just working on my tracks on my own, you know, and then obviously the goal is to merge the two together and be an artist. But really, if you look at the ones who are rising, who are producing and DJing, they're doing both. Right? They're doing both. And I mean, there's also DJs that don't make their own music that are also doing well. How many nerdy producers do you really see getting those top bookings or getting that kind of attention? Barely none. You know what I mean? You have the odd ones, maybe like Boris Brescia, but he's an outlier. You know? So not
there's exception to the rules.
Always exceptions, but like, it's such a small sliver of the pie. You know. So again, maybe some producers are gonna watch this and they're gonna hate my guts for telling the truth, but I'm just being honest, man.
It is what it is. Because we're in the industry. We kind of see like what works and what doesn't.
Exactly.
And like you have to learn how to market yourself. You have to be social. You have to. That's how I got my job as a promoter, and I wasn't even asking for it. You know, so
if you're expected to hold down a dance floor for 2 to 3 hours for 200 people, and you have no social skills, how is that going to work? You know what I mean? You might be a good artist. You might understand the music side of it, but personality is a huge part of being a DJ. You know. And like I feel like before, I almost didn't really say that out loud, or I tried to bury it just to avoid stepping on toes. But the deeper I get into the industry and the longer it goes on, it's like, nah, man, you got great music, cool. You know who else has great music? Countless other DJs. Right?
And now it's
who
like,
are you?
The barrier to entry is a lot lower now, so you're gonna get a fuck ton of music. Like and now everything's getting drowned somewhere. For sure. So it's like, how do you differentiate yourself?
So I mean, again, if you're not willing to invest in your personality, why would the industry, you know?
Exactly. Well, even like people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Alex Hormozy, they're working on their personal branding.
100%.
Because they understand the importance of it.
Of course. I mean, like they're probably really like, obviously Alex Hormozy, you know, he built all his gyms. He's helping all these entrepreneurs.
But I knew him first before what he did.
Exactly.
He's like, this guy looks like he knows what he's talking about. He talks about business a lot, but I didn't know what business he got into until much later. I just found the value of him, who he is as a person, how
and
he
the
delivers
advice that he gives, right? Even with like Gary V, right? Like, what do I know about VaynerMedia? I don't know shit about VaynerMedia, but I know who he is. You know? So,
exactly. I think it's so important, even like for venues for themselves. Like, I find that when the club owners are there partying with you, the parties are lit.
Yeah.
When they're not there, it's like, it's not the same. It's just not the same.
Because they're bringing that energy also,
and
you know what I mean?
It's their vision. It's how they want to throw the party.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, it's 100%. And then obviously you probably have a better perspective on that than maybe me because you're promoting and you're also curating and hosting parties also. So you really got the exposure, which I must say that it's amazing that you had that layup before getting into DJing.
Yeah.
Because then you're able to build off of that, right? You carry it into what you do.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then you're able to showcase that knowledge or maybe pave the way for other people.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't have to be a studio nerd or like the ultimate synthesizer, user, producer, or whatnot too. You can show the way from the actual industry into DJing.
I'm sure anyone can follow my path. After starting only in September, I've had like about 60 gigs. That's an average of 2 to 3 gigs a week.
Good for you.
Up until this point.
And that's a testament to both your commitment and also your social sphere.
Yeah.
Right? That you've been able to leverage what you built. It's not coming out of nowhere because there's a lot of hard work that went behind that too.
Well, it's more like a build up with relationships and stuff. But I always say it's one thing to get the job, it's another thing to keep it.
100%.
So if you're trash, then you're not getting booked ever again.
No, if you're trash or if you're problematic or difficult to work with.
Yeah, the professionalism is huge.
Especially in this day and age.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm a great DJ, but I'm a pain in the ass to work with. Okay, we've got 300 other DJs who are great DJs who are not.
Make it easy for me, because now that I'm booking talent too, if one person is just, I don't know, just being a hard ass for like no reason, then it's like, why am I going to waste my time? Like my time is very precious.
Yeah. And you've got 30 other DJs in your DMs who are also asking for their shot.
Yeah.
So then why are you gonna burn all your time and energy on this one that's
even if they're good, even if I'm like, yo, I believe that this person is gonna fit.
Yeah.
But if like, if you want something, you could tell.
Absolutely.
You're gonna go out of your way. You're gonna add value. Like I've had DJs like not just send me mixes, like go out of their way to support the parties, bring their friends. They make their own content without me even asking. Right? And then I know, like, if I hired you, you're gonna market it.
Yes.
Not only you're a good DJ, you're gonna market it because you embody the brand of this one particular energy house. Right? You embody it, and those are the DJs that I want in alignment with what they're doing, because they really fit the space. It's not necessarily on the technical skills. It's about, do you fit the crowd, or is this something that truly is part of your identity, or can be a part of your identity?
And then is it adding value to what you're providing, right? The format, right? You're bringing them into this space.
I have a document, sure, like anyone can kind of follow that, whether you like it or not, but like you can just tell. You can tell who cares.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best way I can
We have those instincts built within us, you know what I mean? And that's why, especially, I was actually given this tip by a producer and DJ who's full-time international. They play everywhere. They play Toronto and they go everywhere. One of the most important things from the industry's perspective, whether it's promoters or labels or agencies or fans, is that you're in motion. People can see you building, you know what I mean? They can see you building, putting in the work, building it authentically, being strategic about it, right? And being in motion, as opposed to that guy who goes out to a party like once every 4 months and he's like, I want a gig. I'm a DJ, you know? I know how to mix tracks. I have a social media page. I want a gig. Like,
I had this guy reach out to me. This was years ago before I even was a DJ. He was like, yo, when are you gonna book me? I'm like, okay. I was still nice about it. I was like, hey man, why don't you come to the party? I'll introduce you to some people, whatever. No response. I'm like, all right. And then I talked to him about this with Sergio, and he's like, don't bother with this guy. Kind of thing. It's just selfish thinking. It's like,
for sure.
I'm sure I've seen him spin before. Great DJ, great skills. And then, but his attitude,
the
entitlement, where's this come from?
The entitlement, that's big. And again, oh my God, entitlement, and we could extrapolate this beyond DJing. We just look at people out there and what they're doing. But especially if we're talking in the context of music and DJing, like the ultimate truth is nobody owes you a damn thing. And they never will. So you have to be grateful for whatever opportunities come in. You should be self-enterprising and proactive, have some confidence behind what you're doing. Be willing to say like, hey, I've got something good to offer and I want to connect and whatnot too. But just stay humble and remember that nobody ever has to book you. Nobody ever has to show up to see you play. Nobody has to give you opportunities. So just, again, it's kind of like what you said before, kindness costs nothing. Right?
I mean, I'm only starting to start asking for gigs now.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm not coming from a frame of like, oh, I've helped support your parties for so many years.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna do that at all. If there's space for it, then sure. If not, I'll wait.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll be practicing. I'll be going out. I'll be having fun. Like I'll still be doing my thing at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
I don't treat it as like
You're not
like,
demanding.
Yeah, it's like it's not
Yeah.
scarce.
Right.
Right. So and I know there's a shit ton of DJs, but to me, it's still not scarce. Like
No.
I'm in my own lane. I'll do what I can. If people find that I'm good, then sure.
Let's expand on that topic of there's
Sure.
too many DJs, because I think that's a really good topic right now.
And I get it. I understand because I'm fresh. I can't say.
No, for sure. What I'm saying is that I'm almost willing to counter the cultural narrative of there's too many DJs. Because what do you really quantify as a DJ that's in motion and booking and building something? Because just because somebody buys a controller, goes on Beatport, downloads a bunch of tracks and learns how to mix them, like what? What does that really attest to? And again, that's not to minimize or belittle anyone, but it's everything else that we've been talking about: building the brand, building a unique sound, building your personality.
Yeah,
there's like so many variables that really go into being like a bookable DJ.
Like it took me a long time to even want to consider myself a DJ.
Yeah.
Because when I started learning, then I started having more of an ear for it. Then I started hearing more mistakes. Not obviously I make mistakes, but like other DJs and stuff like that. Because there's no like traditional school or in school if you do something, you do this test, then you're whatever.
But you're not going like the University of DJing with exams and midterms.
And I've also had this discussion with someone else where he was in the industry, kind of music. He also bounces a lot. Like he's like one of those guys that's like into everything.
Yeah.
But he's like, there's no rules.
Right.
There's actually no rules.
No.
If somehow you made it to the stage, that's it. You made it.
Yeah.
I've heard DJ stories where they're like, I had no idea how to run CDJs, but I was on the stage and I figured it out, and then the night went really well, and then that was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
If it works out for you, then great. You just hopped on the decks, pretty much. Like from 0 to 100. In one of the biggest events, like in COVID.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like skyrocketed.
Just kind of went up from there, and it really just came down to the fact that I came in, I just played the music that I wanted to play, and I was just figuring it out in real time. But I was engaged, you know what I mean? I was passionate about it from the moment, and maybe I had a little bit of like an advantage from the musical background, right? Because I had experience with getting up on stage and playing music, so that might have helped. But again, DJing is its own craft, and I'd never played house music before for people in a setting, right? So,
and also maybe the question should be like, what makes a good DJ? Because anyone can call themselves a DJ. Right.
Yeah, the subjective, obviously, because of styles and all these things, but really, I think if you break it down to its most core essence, and again, this is just my opinion of it.
Yeah, it's subjective.
It's subjective, but for me, a good DJ is someone who can show up and be that train conductor. Like they can hold the room, if that makes sense. Like they're playing the music and the dance floor is connected to whatever they're doing. For me, that's what a good DJ is. Because if someone comes up and they're just playing John Summit's top 10 tracks because they want to smash the dance floor and get the stompers going, okay, Like I can just plug in my SoundCloud off my freaking phone or Spotify, and I can do that, and I can just play the top 100. And for me, that's what a good DJ does, is someone who can come in and they can create this unique journey in the moment for that specific party or event or club. For whatever their designated time slot is also. You know what I mean? Because I'll be honest, and again, this is just me being as honest as possible. I think the way that you really determine how good someone is as a DJ, you book them as an opener. Book them to open the party and see how they perform there. If there's an exam, that's the exam. How good are you at playing, of being the opener for the night? Of the one who's going to have the least amount of people on the dance floor. Of the one who's going to have to, shape themselves to contain their energy. Because you're not smashing it out. You're not supposed to smash it out as the opener. You're warming up. You're doing the layup for the headliner. Or even the next DJ after you, if it's like 4 or 5 DJs playing or whatever. So I think that's where you get put to the test, is when you're opening and you got to put your ego aside and just play music.
I enjoy those opening gigs.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Me too. I mean, again, and I'm sure you probably collected music. I have so many opening tracks that I absolutely love playing.
Yeah.
And I want to like experiment and play them with it.
Yeah.
And if there's 10 people on the dance floor, amazing. If there's 3 people on the dance floor, let's have a good time. You know.
I think the real headliner DJs really understand like how important the opening was. Like,
yeah.
I played at the one house party at D&D. They started their house nights on the Wednesdays.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So that's with DC and Quim, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they obviously killed it, and I'm just like, no drinks, just bumping into music, whatever, the whole night up until like 4 a.m. And then Quim turned around, he's like, yo, this started because of you. Yeah, and I was like, oh man, like, thanks. Yeah. So he paid the nod to like the opening.
Nod,
right?
yeah, for sure. But and also that was your opportunity to also show him in DC, right, that you can warm up the night, right? And then that's how you're, not only are you building your craft in real time as an opening DJ, but you're also showcasing that you can show up and do your job. Yeah. Because you were booked to be the opener. Yeah. Right? Which is amazing.
Yeah. And I even called Quim in DC. I was like, how do you want to structure this?
Yeah.
Like I know I'm an opener, but how do you want to do this? And then we flowed before, like we've done this before, so it's not like totally new with me. Like I've opened up for DC once privately. I opened up for Quim like maybe about twice. And then that was like a third time for me. Yeah, it just like flowed like blue like butter.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What
Definitely one of my favorite nights, and I didn't expect it to be that fun.
What more can you ask for as an artist?
Yeah.
And as a DJ, that's what you want. Yeah,
exactly, and playing with your homies, like what the heck? Because I've obviously known them through the promoting side of things, and for full circle, it was like a full circle moment.
It's a party.
Yeah,
you're partying with your friends.
Yeah, like
you're just in charge of the music.
RJ and Nick Shine, they used to promote with me, like not with me, but like same venues and stuff.
Right.
So there's like a relationship there. And then they gave me the head nod too. It was just like sweet. I think at that point I was like, all right, I can actually like do shit.
I can do this. Yeah. That's just great, and then your confidence goes up also, right? And then you want to do it again.
That's the best way to learn. It's just literally just do gigs. Yeah. Like constantly. Do anything just to get your feet wet.
Repetition.
Yeah.
Right? But then again, kind of
play
like what
the
we're
bad
saying,
ones.
Yeah, but like what we were saying before, show up to do what you're hired to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's for this specific venue or for this lot, I mean, no local DJ is really going to be headlining any of the major clubs anyways, right? Like there might be certain events, but that's just kind of how it works with locals, right? You get kind of booked around international artists if you're doing those kind of gigs. Yeah. But if you're throwing your own party here, XYZ, and you're headlining, it's whatever you're doing, understand your role for the night. Yeah. You know what I mean? So for me, if I'm playing Bibliotech, for example, and I'm playing 12:30 to close, right? I know the dance floor is going to be warm, and I know how people are when they walk into that room. Yeah. They need me playing. They need me playing like, with high energy. They want house, they want vocals, they want that. So I gotta be prepared and ready to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Regardless of, I'm like, I kind of like, because for me, I started off with progressive and melodic music also, but I know that in that room, it's not going to translate as well because that's not what the dance floor is doing. And that's not why Simon is booking me. He's booking me to play house music. Yeah. Right? And I love doing it. Yeah. Right? So it's things like that. Or, even when I got booked to play Coda last year with my buddy Samoan, we're warming up the dance floor, right? So we're doing like a mix of like deep house and tech house. Yeah. But we have to have limits. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because Addy, again, he's expecting us to just get things going. Yeah. He's not saying I need you to come in and smash everything to smithereens. Yeah. You guys have got to get the dance floor warmed up for the rest of us guys, and that's exactly what we did. And I loved that. Yeah. So much fun coming up with a set list and tracks for that, especially when you're going back to back with your friends.
Especially
also.
like experimental too, because it's like not every song's gonna hit. So you're like, okay, if this is not gonna hit, then you have a whole trajectory, a whole train of thought of like, okay, I'm gonna go this direction. Exactly. And then that works. Okay, let's keep going. Like, it's really experimental.
For sure, and I feel like the point we're touching upon is that as an artist, that might be one of the most important things to keep track of. Yeah. Right. It's not about you getting up there and becoming globally famous. Yeah. It's getting up there and having fun, doing your job, and then having fun.
Honestly, just go out there and have fun. Yeah. When the nerves kick in. Because it does.
And it's great feeling though. I love that
every
feeling.
new gig I get, that's like, we'll call it like a stepping stone or a milestone. Like I feel the nerves either the day before, or if I don't feel it the day before, I'm feeling it really hard like moments leading up to the actual hour. And I tried fighting it and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go have fun. Like literally I told myself, I'm going to go. Maybe had one shot. Then I go to the opener DJ. First time ever a guy like ever opening for me. And I'm jamming with him. I'm hyping him up because he gets hyped. The crowd gets hyped. Then I'm hyped. Then as soon as they get on, I kid you not, it was like a flow state. Nothing could disturb me. I had a girl come behind the booth obviously drunk girls try to talk to you and whatever.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, could it, whatever. I'm like, sure,
Yeah.
whatever, come by. And then one girl literally went like this to the decks.
Yeah.
And we were just like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah.
Get out. Started the thing again, and it just kept
worst.
going.
Yeah.
But I didn't like lose my shit.
No.
I was professional about it.
For sure.
She obviously got kicked out.
Of course, it's irritating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember this one time at Bibliotech, I was going in to mix the next track, and this chick thought she was being funny by keeping her hand over the cue and play button. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, this is not funny, you know what I mean? So I kind of like looked at security, and then I looked at her, and I lifted her hand and took it up. And then I think she got the message, because security gave her the stink eye. Said, you do that again, you know, you're out of here.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just in those moments, I'm just like, okay, I guess it's just what I'm dealing with right now.
It's a lot, and I thought promoting and hosting parties was a lot, but it's like, imagine that, and you're trying to mix music and trying to get the crowd going at the same time. So like, so much shit was just being fired at me.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was in such a flow state. I didn't panic.
That's good.
I was like, I've done this before, and like,
I'll figure it out.
I just kept going. I just figured it out.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, it just felt super rewarding, and like,
Yeah.
it's like one of those nights. I don't know if you experienced the same thing. I just couldn't sleep.
Oh yeah,
I'm just like,
I'm,
yo,
I'm wired up after gigs,
I'm just
bro.
like, yes, let's go. Especially a really good one. You're just like hyped up.
Yeah. And especially like we're gigs where like I obviously have my friends out or other DJs or whatnot. More often than not, we're going to an afters. You know what I mean? Maybe we're going to Vertigo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To continue the party there, we're going to someone's house. But I'm usually so wired up. I've tried to do the thing where I play the gig and I go home, and I'm literally in bed just like staring at the music. I'll put my little Bluetooth speaker beside me and I'll just keep music going because I can't stop.
How do you handle the nerves? Call it anxiety.
A good question. Okay, I don't want to sound too arrogant, but I've been playing music for so long that I think it's just kind of part of my framework.
Yeah.
You know, so I just feel it there. I take it as a good thing because it means that I'm stepping into musician mode.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. Sometimes, again, if I really need to calm down, maybe I'll do like a little bit of breath work or meditation at home just to kind of ground myself in that moment. Or if I'm at the venue, maybe I'll just step away and I'll just wash my face a little bit. You know what I mean? Again, it depends on the night because I'm not doing this every time. But I think that's a good way to do it. Honestly, Darren, my biggest concern on any night is the USB not working or the gear fucking up. That is always my number one fear. I'm not trying to sound arrogant. I'm usually not worried about the music because I have so much music that I can play anyways and I can figure out in the moment. It's always the technical issues that are on my mind. You know what I mean? That's my number one source of anxiety. Is the CDJs not working or all my USBs fail? That's what I'm worried about.
I've come across that. Maybe not too intense. But even just a knob fell off. Like, that's freaking funny. But I just look at it, I was like, all right, how am I going to circle around this?
Because you got to figure it out, you know what I mean? And I think usually if you're playing local gigs, maybe if you have people around you or friends around you, you know, sometimes you can just tell someone, I've had that before, like the CDJ stopped working. Hey man, the CDJ stopped working. And just telling him for some reason just calmed me down, you know? I don't know if that seems like unprofessional, but it's just like, it's my friend. And I'm just letting him know, like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with right now. And he's like, it's okay, you'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
You know?
No, I think talking through it is fine. It's fine. I remember just making a mistake. I was like, I made this biggest mistake. I just joked about it. I'm like, rather than like, oh my God, and panicking, because if you get that energy, then it's going to go to the crowd.
It's going to,
But then if you go behind, like beside a guy, like, yo, I made the biggest mistake, man. And he's like, yo, man, don't even worry about it. It's just a good time.
Just snap back in, you know what I mean? Just get back on it and just keep the music going.
I think there's something to say about like leaning into the discomfort. And just owning it. It's just like feeling it through, seeing the feelings through. Because, man, you'll never know what type of character that comes out of you. It's like a different side of you. I know people, either you're groovy, having more fun, whatever, or some people are loud. Is it arrogance? Is it confidence? I don't know. I also think it's an expression. I know another DJ that's loud, like, let's fucking go. And I'm like, you know what? That might not be me, but I dig that. Like, I dig that. That's you. That's your brand. This is who you are. You think you're the shit? Yes. Right now, you're the fucking man. Let's go. Let's get the ground going. Like, I want to support that. I don't think it's necessarily arrogance per se. But a character.
They're the entertainer for the night, right? And they're leading into it. And you know what? The crowd gets hyped up, and now they're like, we're going to stay here. We're going to go to the bar. We're going to get more drinks, and we're going to come and we're going to jump, and we're going to have a good time. Who's anyone to come and say, no, this is not okay?
You're not allowed to act like that. Business owners just want to see the money. They want to see the sales. They want to see the number of people. They want to see
the energy also, you know what I mean?
If they're staying, that's what they truly look for.
Especially if you're playing at a party where there's no ticket. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like free entry, so people can flow in and out of those really easily, right?
Yeah.
They step in and they're like, well, we're not really liking the vibe here, or just something's
Yeah.
off, so we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
So and then again, at that point, you're the DJ, so you gotta do your thing to try and pull
And
them
also,
in.
the real venues understand that they know what they're looking for.
Right.
And I'm sure, like, I have a document, right? This is
Right.
what I'm looking for. I'm sure other venues may have the same thing or have at least some sort of discussion
Right.
prior to that. Or if you go to the space more than enough times, you're going to understand it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think each DJ should kind of follow that.
Yes.
Unless you're like a festival, unless it's a festival, then people are there to see your style for that X amount of time.
Right. And as far as I know, festival slots are usually pretty short also, right? And you're being compressed kind of amongst other DJs.
Yeah.
I have not played a festival, so I don't know what that's like. This is just based on DJs that I've talked to that have played festivals.
Yeah, but I feel clubs and festivals, I personally think that they're completely different.
Oh, yeah.
The mindset should be completely
exactly.
different. Because
Yeah.
if you're taking festival mindset into a club and you're doing that at 10 p.m., you're gonna kill the crowd.
You're going to kill the crowd, and also the other DJs will probably, you're not going to set a good precedence with them.
Yeah.
Right? Because then they're like, again, you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
Right? If you're the opening DJ, you're coming in with headliner festival energy.
Yeah.
It's a complete mismatch.
No,
So
definitely. I mean, that's definitely arguable with some other people, but I'll stick to the read the fucking room straight up.
Yeah.
Just read the room.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, question for you: ideal length for set time? Like, what's your if I could play
Like a true?
Oh yeah, if someone's like, hey Darren, pick the amount of time you want to play for tonight. What number would you pick?
I've seen some podcasts where let's go back to the nights where it's 3-4 hour sets because
Right.
you really truly are testing your skills throughout the whole time. I think anyone can fucking play an hour, 130 minutes, maybe even two. Two is pretty solid.
Yeah.
To really showcase your
Mind you, a lot of DJs also don't get 2-hour slot bookings
No, I
in the
get
city
that.
also, right?
But
yeah.
I played so many 4-hour sets that I'm comfortable with that. Then when I play the 1 hour, it's I feel like I could do a little more.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I feel like I was just getting warmed up.
Right.
But I think a true night, because a true story would be maybe 3 to 4 hours.
Right.
But if it's compressed, sure, I'll deal with that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, it depends on what it is. I mean, the thing is, with those 3-4 hour slots, you can really build something,
That's what
right?
I'm
You're
saying.
building a vibe, and the chances are, at least from my perspective, most of your set is not going to be bangers. You'll have the moments where it's the bangers, obviously, as you get closer to peak time or certain points, but for the most time, you're kind of maintaining a vibe, and I love doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just for 2 hours. Maybe I have those high energy moments,
Yeah.
but otherwise we're flying through the galaxy. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
what I'm saying.
We're going on twisted journey, and you're like you said before, you're in that flow state,
Yeah.
and the dance floor isn't jumping up and down. They're more in that hypnotic flowy state. I love that. That's
I love
probably
that
my
too.
favorite.
I love that
Yeah.
too, and it kind of the music marinates more,
Exactly.
especially
It's a
if
good
you're
word.
sticking to one artist. Then if you jump to someone else, and what if he just plays completely different?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, what if someone's hard techno and one's more Afro house?
Yeah.
Can you mix the two? Sure, probably could work. But at the
Maybe.
same time, it's
That'd be
two
tall order.
different brains, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather stick to one. When I saw the Pazza set for 7 hours.
Yeah.
That's a true journey. He took me to the eras of music.
Right.
And that's what I want.
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, I remember when I saw Marsh play at Coda.
Yeah.
He did his thing. He played his Anjuna bangers and his melodic house, which he's known for. And at the end of the night, he just went straight into trance, went straight into classic trance.
Yeah.
So whoever was there was maybe 50 people left on the dance floor at that point, but we're in it. This guy's throwing late 90s, early 2000s trance music.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing this anywhere else. I'm not hearing it anywhere
Yeah.
else. And I stayed there until his very last, until he turned off the freaking system,
Yeah.
Until
If you can keep me till 7 in the morning, then you've done your job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've done your job. Because ideally, that's what you want. You want the night to be it's hard to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want the night to be I couldn't wait to get out of there.
Yeah,
right?
I call it emotional spiking. Too
Yeah,
many
yeah.
DJs are doing that. It's just let's just play bangers. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I'm a good DJ. I'm we'll see.
Yeah. I was we'll see.
How many openers have you done? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Could you do the 3-hour Galaxy ride? You know what I mean? Could you temper your ego
Yeah.
and really build, like, could you maybe play a little bit deeper, a little bit more atmospheric before you get into the bangers? Because that's how we'll actually determine. And again, we're talking about more like kind of house and like lighter techno here, right? Because hard techno is its own thing.
Yeah.
Industrial, that's its own thing. We're talking about, I think you and I are kind of talking about the same genres and same folds.
Yeah. It depends where you are. I think so a place like Story versus Mr. C, Coast, they're all different.
Very different. Yeah,
Very
for
different.
sure. Yeah. It's going to be different. But again, you know, as a DJ, you figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully you have those, I don't want to say playlists, you have those aspects of your sound that you can play based on the venue.
Yeah. And also, like, who are you playing for? Are you playing for yourself? Are you playing for your other DJs? Are you playing for Instagram clips?
Yeah.
Be honest with yourself. Are you actually playing for the crowd?
Yeah.
It should be a mix.
I agree. Yeah. I think like you should have your moments where maybe you know that there's a hard banger coming in, or you've really got the dance floor, and you're like, oh, I want this for my social media.
Yeah.
But they're like, those are very specific moments within the set. But for the other part, again, for me, well, you're holding down the vibe. You know what I mean? You're the train conductor, not freaking Lady Gaga in your meat suit, getting all the attention for the next like 2 hours.
People
right?
I mean, I guess there are people out there that are there for that reason.
Yeah.
And if it's their thing, sure, I guess I can't hate it. But it's like, are you really growing as a DJ or an artist? Because I can curate something where I make a playlist of 10 songs, and then I practice and that routine, play it at a peak time, everyone's drunk, post it on social media, gets hits maybe. Oh my God, you're the sick DJ.
You're the sick, yeah.
It's like, no, play a fucking opener.
Exactly, yeah. Play an opener, and that's where we'll put you to the test.
We'll talk from there.
Yeah. I almost like, I mean, again, not that I've played so many like main slot sets or anything like that, but I will say that sometimes with the opening, it can be a little bit more intimidating, I think. It's fun, but I'm like, oh, I really have to like figure out my grooves here. Because I'm not going to be playing all these tracks, right? All these like hard, high energy bangers. So now I almost have to dig deeper and do that. And at first it's a little bit intimidating, but then it's fun, you know? Because then you're building that vibe.
When you get comfortable and you start understanding the crowd a little bit more, then it becomes fun. But trust me, my first gig, I was pissing my pants. Like, I was so nervous.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. I mean, that's human, you know?
Even before I started, like just about to start like my first gig, like just other people. DJs are humans. Like, let's put it this way. Like they want the validation, right? Which is not wrong, because they want to know if their craft is good. And they'll be like, "Yo, how was it?" I'm like, "Dude, there's one incident. I was at one of the clubs backstage, and the DJ right after a set was like, "Yo, how was it?" I'm like, "Dude, you had me jumping up and down. I don't just do that for anybody." And he's like, "Yo, man, I was just like so in my head." I'm like, okay, you're human too. Like, as good as I think you are, like, you're human.
Of course.
Everyone, we all make mistakes. We all get nervous, and that's just part of the game.
It is just part of the game. And
especially with newer DJs, if you're nervous, good. Now lean into it.
Exactly.
And do the gig. That's it. Do
the gig.
That's how I did it. I'm like, all right, you gotta leap into faith. If you're given an opportunity, if you say no, like, man, that you're shooting yourself in the foot in your own growth.
Right.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it and figure it out, and you know, put your ego aside. If you need some help, if you want to like talk to someone about it, or you want to reach out to a DJ, or you want to ask your friends to come out with you for the night just for like social support or whatnot, don't be afraid to do that. You know what I mean?
Helps. It definitely helps.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Yeah, I just, again, the worst, I mean, again, I'm sure we could talk about this endlessly, but the biggest thing that'll get in people's way, like in any domain, is their own ego. Right? Ego really is the enemy. I know it sounds very cheesy, but it's cliched for a reason, because it's true.
It's there. It's just how do we navigate around it? And we're not perfect, as you said. There are times where you blow up. But it's because we're human, and I understand. Like, if let's say something happens and you want to make amends, like, be a man about it or be an adult about it. Go for it. Make an apology. Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, and you know what? If the other side accepts it, great. If they don't, that's also great. You move on, and again, just what's the whole point of mistakes? You make them. You learn from them and you grow from them, and then hopefully you don't make them again. That's the whole idea.
You learn,
right? You learn, right? So, and dude, again, for all of us, anyone watching, for you and I talking, we're gonna make more mistakes, whether it's in music or other parts of our life. Right? That's just gonna be the reality until for the rest of our lives, right? But the idea is that you're growing concurrently
Yeah.
while you're making those mistakes.
Yeah.
And then just again treating people well.
Yeah.
And stay focused on what you want to do.
Yeah.
And having fun. You know what I mean? Life's short.
Yeah.
Life is short. I know we're getting into the cliches a little bit, but this is just the point we're at right now. You know, have
It
fun.
is. I mean, there is a lot of DJs, but honestly, enjoy the process of it.
There's no pinnacle. There's no there's no finish line.
Yeah.
Ideally, I hope so. You know what I mean? There's no finish line.
Yeah.
You just keep growing. And
But
keep
I'd
going.
say, I mean, at least what worked for me is just navigating through like the relationship part of it.
Yeah. Which again, you know, people will come and go. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's people right now in the scene that you and I are both probably dealing with or talking with.
Yeah.
Hey, they might choose to leave electronic music and nightlife altogether.
Yeah.
And go on to do other things, and that's completely okay too.
Yeah.
You know, they leave, maybe they come back.
Yeah.
Or whatnot too. I don't know. I mean, maybe you and I are at the same point where I'm just like, let's. I want to keep following this thread.
Yeah.
For as long as I can, right? Especially as your sound starts to come together, you play more gigs.
Yeah.
Or you start connecting with more established artists or whatnot too.
Yeah.
Then you feel like that next level opening up.
Yeah.
So for me, and again, you know, I think about this stuff every day. It's a part of my life, right? It's not just, so I guess maybe this is another thing to add. Being a DJ maybe just isn't a function. It's also a way of life.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you be okay not getting the big slots? Would you be
Great
okay
question.
not being at the big festivals?
Maybe a good question is, if you did not get booked for a whole year and you got no social validation, would you still continue with electronic music
That's a good
in your
question.
life? Because maybe that could determine who's really in it or not. Because personally, I'm just being honest, I would. I have. I've had periods where I don't get any bookings or whatnot too, right? And maybe I'm a music nerd in my own way. I want to keep finding tracks, keep learning production, keep learning about the history of the culture, keep going to events.
Yeah.
I absolutely would.
Yeah.
You know? But if someone's like, I don't think I would do this if I didn't get booked for a whole year. It's like, well, maybe you need to ask yourself why you're really getting into DJing, you know?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I wouldn't stop trying.
No, I wouldn't say stop trying, but again, it's just asking about what are you really doing this for?
Yeah.
Because maybe some people are doing it because they want the applause and the recognition and the Instagram likes.
Yeah.
You know, and the music is just a.
Yeah. No one's gonna really admit that, but I think you can tell.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Maybe it started off as like social validation, and then maybe they actually fell in love with it as they're learning, right? Like,
anything's possible.
Like a slow, kind of like a slow burn. I think that's what happened to me. It was more like a slow burn than anything else. You just never know. You just never know. Yeah.
No, you don't know. But I mean, again, I think you're right. You can tell when someone is just, the music is just a means to an end.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, the music's going to help me get X, Y, Z, which is what I really want.
Yeah. I looked at it as a very cool platform.
Yeah,
and it allows me to connect with more people.
Yeah.
And now that I swindled into DJ content, it's like there's a whole world out there.
Absolutely.
That I thought it's untapped because I thought I capped at a certain amount with what I was promoting.
Right.
But now DJing just brought a whole different network of people.
Yeah.
It's like same but different.
And even then, you said like, you know, you started with this with your DJ journey last year. Right, so now you have all these other different stages and all these things to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As you continue on, so that's part of the excitement also.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
for someone, maybe they're like, oh, I'm not going to be a festival headliner within 2 years. I'm out. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, to each his own.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah. See how that goes. Okay, next question. Do you think comparison quietly destroys more artists than lack of talent?
it's difficult to give a firm answer on that, but I can say that comparison definitely creates a lot of problems. Because just to understand the second part of that question with lack of talent, you know, even talent can be kind of subjective, and I don't necessarily think that talent guarantees anything. Maybe it gives you a strong starting point where you have a natural aptitude for music or performing or kind of leaning into that DJ persona and functionality, but I think comparison creates a lot of issues because again, it's, you know, we're in an industry where you've got so many people that are vying for limited spots, right? So you've got competition, you've got unfairness, you're dealing with politics, you're dealing with interpersonal relationships that get blended with professional relationships.
Yeah.
So I think comparison creates a lot of issues, and maybe that does slow people down a lot more than they realize, or even takes them out of the game. I don't know, man. It's like, how do you overcome comparison, especially in this day of social media, where everything, all the highlights are put to the forefront, right? Because like you see XYZ DJ that you know getting booked for this gig, you're like, well, why am I not getting booked? You know what I mean, for that same opportunity? Or you see someone's post take off, or whatnot. You're like, why are none of my posts taken off?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or this person's hanging out with this collective, and then this collective is giving them opportunities. Why is that not happening for me? Right? But the problem with that is that you're putting your locus of control outside of you.
Yeah.
And you have no control over what happens outside of you. And it can be tough to bring that back to yourself and to what you're doing. You know, so, I mean, what's your perspective on that?
Well, I think comparison is the thief of joy. I'm sure you heard of that line before.
It's the what, sorry?
Comparison is the thief of
Oh,
joy.
thief of joy, yes.
I do appreciate what I already accomplished.
Yeah.
I look at that first as a baseline because not a lot of people had the opportunities that I had.
Right.
At such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm necessarily a better quote unquote DJ because of that. It's just like everyone has their own unfair advantages. I mean, those are things that I can't really control.
Right.
So I just deal with the things that I can control.
Right.
But let's say if someone that, you've known for a while that maybe they didn't seem like the best to you, but they're at elevated stages, hey man, that's their time.
Yeah.
Right? I'd rather look at it as a win, especially if it's a friend.
Right.
Right? Like, if you truly are a friend, you'd be supportive.
Exactly. And even if you are feeling a little bit of insecurity or jealousy around it, you move through it.
Yes.
Right? You accept it. Like, oh man, this person's getting this opportunity, and you know what? Kind of sucks that I'm not getting something like that.
Yeah.
But I can deal with my feelings, and I can be happy for them.
Yeah.
Because, that's their opportunity, and they're my friend.
How are you going to rob them for their own joy and opportunity?
And if you're really thinking long term also, and I'm not saying that you're thinking about it in a calculating way, but if you're supporting them and you celebrate their wins, guess what? When opportunities come their way where they can help someone else out, who are they more likely to help? The person who was supportive or the person who was dismissive and silent during their rise? Right? So just
I think true character will definitely show up the higher you rise to the top. And I feel like, they say the higher you go, the lonelier it gets.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's true.
Yeah.
Even some of the close friends you think that are supportive are the ones that don't support you, and the ones that you don't least likely to show up are the ones that show up.
Absolutely. And that's not even DJing, that happens in the corporate world also. When people move up to middle management positions or executive positions, it becomes lonelier there also. Because then coworkers or friends that they thought were supporting them, they're kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like I said, if you're a true supporter and you're with them from the very beginning, all the ones that are at the top, from what I've heard at least, they're the ones really supporting each other.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm like, just stick with them. If you truly believe in it, then stick with it. Don't do it because you want something out of it.
Exactly.
It's more, but at the same time, it helps when you're more genuine about it.
For
if
sure.
you don't like the person, then why stick around?
Because then then what is your relationship with them, right? Are you only with them? I think a lot of this comes down to extrinsic versus intrinsic components of people also, right? It's like who the person is and their character and how you relate to them versus maybe the position they hold in the world or what they have around them, right? Like, are you only going to this guy's, are you only friends with this guy because he owns a mansion? Just as a silly example. If you didn't have the mansion, would you still be friends with him?
Yeah.
Because if the answer is no, then you have your answer.
Yeah.
It's not about him. It's about what he has.
Yeah.
So,
That can be in any relationship. But I also look at it as motivation because it's, if she can do it, she can do it. Why not? I can do it. Maybe I'm in the same caliber, maybe I'm not, but I think it's a timing thing because there's so many DJs. You could only fit so many time slots.
Exactly.
So eventually, it's like when your time comes, it'll come.
Yeah.
Like I've had, Sergio, for example, he was in the beginning of my DJ career, he's like, just keep practicing, doing all the gigs, being very motivating in that sense. And I'm like, yes, I will. And it's like, but always be ready. I'm like, absolutely. It's like, but you never know. I even made someone wait a year. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't owe me anything.
Right.
And I took that, and I was like, but I wasn't butthurt because he's gonna make me wait. No, if anything, I want to make sure I'm ready.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do the other gigs.
Well, what can you do within that year for yourself?
Get ready.
Get ready. Yes.
Literally get ready.
Keep building your own craft. Keep playing other gigs. Keep building your network. If you think about it, Darren, there's countless things you can do.
Yeah. If it were too easy, would you have valued it more too, right?
Yeah, there's something about that also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the whole lottery winner versus the guy who builds his own business and gets wealthy. And it's funny because the people who build their own businesses are usually the ones who keep their wealth and grow it, where the lottery winners, they tank. Exactly
because they don't have the discipline.
Yes, they haven't put in the reps. They haven't built their resilience and character through it, right? Where with you and I, based on the conversation we have, we're both grinders.
Yeah.
Right? We got out there, we pulled ourselves up by the bootstraps, rolled up our sleeves, and and we just got to work.
Yeah.
With like building relationships, building our sound, building our place.
And the thing is with nightlife, things changed just like this. One gig example was supposed to be 4 hours, and he's like, I want you for 6.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm not necessarily prepared for 6 hours.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it.
You figure it out.
I figured it out.
Yeah.
Did I have enough music? I did. I didn't know I had enough music, but I did.
Right.
Yeah. And then they were happy about it, but I'm not gonna be like, no, sorry, I'm only gonna spin for this time.
Exactly.
This is my worth. And I'm like, no. Then you're just gonna lose the connection there.
Yeah, and then they'll find someone else.
Yeah.
And someone else will be ready to step in, right? That's the other thing too, right? It's like as a DJ, you got to remember that there is a gigantic lineup behind you of people that if an opportunity is offered to you, and you're not able to show up and deliver, countless of people are ready to go, right? So you gotta know how to capitalize. And do your thing.
Just be ready. Just be ready. It's very simple. Just be ready. Like. That's even in the fight game too.
Right.
Like, you'll have a planned fight, but those planned fights can cancel at any moment.
Right.
Literally, it could be the day of.
Right.
You never know.
You never know.
I was supposed to play at a gig for New Year's. I turned away 2 gigs for it, and it got canceled without me knowing until the day of. You know what I mean? Shit happens. Like, it's out of your control.
It's always out of your control. And I mean,
deal with it.
Even with major artists, you see them post on social media of like, oh, couldn't reach the connecting flight. I'm sick. I've got an infection. I can't play the gig.
Or maybe you fight through it. I don't know. Like,
you never know. There's fucking millions that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Which again, to contrast that, which is why you should be grateful for every opportunity that comes your way. Because again, if things are lining up where you do get to get up on stage and play music, that means there's a lot of variables that are coming together in order for that to happen. Right? So treat every gig with gratitude or approach it with gratitude.
Also, like, even if you feel unprepared and let's say something's given to you tomorrow. Do it. If it aligns with you, of course, and but do it. Don't do it because you're scared. Oh, I'm not ready yet. Then if you say that to a promoter or any venue, they're gonna be like, why did I waste my time asking you?
Exactly, and then they're gonna be reluctant or maybe just even avoid asking you next time an opportunity comes up.
If you wet the bed, own it. I've yet to do that. Knock on wood. But if you wet the bed, sure, that's just a sign of where you are.
Yes.
And just take it and learn from that. But if you're given the opportunity, hey, you have this opening set, or hey, you have this time slot, or maybe headliner, who knows? But if you're nervous as fuck, I don't care. Just do it. Just do it.
I mean, just for reference, I've seen major artists play sets where you're like, what's going on here? Clearly this is not going well, just to be honest, So if it happens at that level and they're, playing for 500 or 1,000 people and they're getting paid, in order like 5-10 grand, whatever it might be, but the set's just not working. So if it happens at that level, you just accept that that's part of the game. It's part of life, right?
Like, you're not gonna hit every. I've come to the acceptance, you're not gonna make every set the best.
Like a home run. Yeah, exactly.
But I'd rather be consistent. Than not.
This kind of ties into one of the other questions about craft, right? So it's can you separate craft from output and results? Because craft that's your own thing. That's ongoing, right? Where you're building your track collection, you're learning mixing skills, maybe you expand into production, you learn in production. Or if you want to go the hybrid route and you start including live instruments. Separating craft from whatever's happening in terms of gigs and industry, I actually think that's absolutely crucial. And I think if you really want to refer to yourself as an artist or have a strong identity as an artist, you should have a strong relationship with your craft regardless of anyone fucking else. Right? You know what I mean? Regardless of any DJ or promoter or agency or booker. Your relationship with your craft, that's between you and your craft.
And I think the work should speak for itself. Even for my therapy business, I market, but I don't market as hard as I used to. But because the people know who I am, and I have such a good foundational skill with my craft that people just come back and they understand because I'm consistent with the results that I get for the treatment. But that could be applied to DJing as well. But it comes out of baseline. But I think the bar is set so low now that where's the real foundational skills, right?
For sure.
Whatever real DJs say, these are the foundational skills.
Absolutely. And if there's actually a fundamental piece of advice that I could offer to newer DJs as someone who's been a musician for a long time, it's do not lose your relationship with your craft. You know what I mean? regardless of how
get
big
too
you're
comfortable,
getting,
maybe? Yeah.
get too comfortable. You're like, I'm getting these bookings, or like now I've got this opportunity or whatnot
Yeah.
too. Because again, at the end of the day, like we said before, everything can disappear.
Yeah.
Within a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could never get booked again
Yeah.
after a certain point.
Yeah.
At least with the craft, that's something that's within your locus of control.
Yeah.
And really should be a strong source of your own self-esteem and validation. Right? Because again, if for 6 months nobody wants to book you, would you still care about dance music and wanting to play it or make it?
Yeah.
Right? I think that is one of those questions that can really separate the ones who are in it for the right reasons versus the ones who are in it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I can't even answer that question unless I'm put into that position.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It depends on, like, I guess how you're getting into it or why you're getting into it in the first place.
Right.
I think for me it was more of a spiritual connection for me. I would say I have a love for music. I have a musical background. I used to play piano, like
nice.
The grade 9 band.
Of
You know
course.
what I mean?
Well, you
Play
wouldn't
clarinet.
hang around music as much as you do if you didn't have some sort of special connection to music.
Yeah, I have choir. I have a family. I think my family has a huge influence on that as well.
Oh, nice.
Because
Okay.
like I have singers and musicians in my family.
Yeah.
Whether
So it's part of
it's
your
singers-
ecosystem.
Yeah. At a certain age, that's where I kind of stopped. This is like definitely a good creative outlet for me.
Yeah.
But for me, just want to make sure the battery's good. Yeah. But for me, this is like a little bit of my testimony of me being a Christian, being a man of God. I do have a gift of. I'm like drawing a blank right now. Evangelism. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Evangelism, something I never really thought I had until I got into nightlife. It's just a genuine relationship that I made with people. Long story short, I have a little bit of reputation with my pastors where I brought people from nightlife to church.
Yeah.
And they got, not only that, they got baptized and they flipped their whole life like around 180. And
Yeah.
that was definitely an anointing. That was kind of a thing like when I was in nightlife, but not to say I'm a perfect person. Like I've messed around like too many times, made too many mistakes. I've learned a lot about myself.
Yeah.
And I definitely grew a lot. And with my relationship with God through these seasons. COVID was definitely interesting too.
Yeah.
When I retired from promoting like 2024, I was just doing my own thing, traveling. I was like probably in the best shape of my life too. Then I felt this pull towards back into nightlife. And I'm like, God, like I don't want to be a promoter anymore. Like I'm done with this. Like the logistics of it all, like I just didn't want it. I was good at it, but like I just didn't want to do it. But then slowly but surely, like music kept coming back. It just kept coming back. And I'm like, all right. If this is a thing, I'm going to pray about it. So in church, before the service starts, we have worship music, and then there's a team of leaders that line up in the front, and you can get prayer. Whatever you want, big or small.
Yeah.
I talked to one pastor, Pastor Calvin, and I'm like, hey, like, I feel like, you know my story with nightlife. I feel like I'm being called here again.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there, but if it is, like, then I'll be there, right?
Right.
So we prayed about it. Literally the week of, I get my first gig, and then that led to opening up for DJ Quim. Quim actually gave me my first DJ lesson.
Oh, nice.
So that was like a full circle moment. Then from then, opened up for another birthday from someone very important from Ink Entertainment.
Yeah.
Then after that, I was at Mr. C like every week, and then that I started like literally just went off. Like, it just went off, and I'm like, all right, well this is it. But it allowed me to connect more with other people.
Right.
Did I know I was gonna have some sort of talent? Not at all. But at the same time, I do love it. I do love it.
If you played 60 gigs within just a span of time, something's working.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
Yeah.
There's something within your performance and your storytelling that's working. Because otherwise, you wouldn't be continuing to get gigs at that frequency.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough to know that, okay, I'm on to something here.
Yeah.
I might not know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I might not be able to explain every single part of it.
Yeah.
But something's working.
Yeah, and I'm just going with it. Do I have it figured out? No. Am I enjoying the process? Absolutely. It flipped my life again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now we're having this conversation, and even with this whole content thing, that one video that hit, I'm like, wow, now I have attention from like DJs from all over the world. And it's like, okay, where's this going? Who knows? Like, just kind of.
You've been able to just boost your own profile and visibility through one piece of content, you know? And hey, some people might have their feelings about that, but at the end of the day, you just spoke your truth.
Yeah.
You put it out there.
It's my
and now
journey,
that's the result, you know? And it's your journey, right?
Yeah.
And it's great. I mean, it's inspiring for the rest of us, you know? I mean, for me, content is something that I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with, but I've started to embrace it more, you know, more and more. And now I'm actually starting to enjoy it, especially if I can share more things on the craft and creative end. Like I love talking about like the social and nightlife stuff too. But for my musician background, I'm like, you know, that's an area of strength of mine.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to connect with other DJs and producers.
Yeah.
You know, who maybe they're like, okay, I want to hear maybe a little bit of what Sid has to say, or maybe there's some piece of knowledge or value that I can pass along that someone just wouldn't look into themselves.
Yeah.
You know? And it's fun. It's fun for me.
I felt like part of that evangelism too is just like being a bridge to the gap of a lot of things, like to relationships, whether it's now I feel like it's DJs to promoters to owners, kind of being the bridge and speaking for people, whether they believe in me or not. Like, I feel like all these conversations need to be heard. Clearly, it's in the statistics, right?
Of course,
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna like niche down and like double down on it.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great, man. Yeah.
It's cool, but it came more of like a relational, like personal thing.
Right.
And like I said, like it opened up a whole different door for me. Like, say, you know, obviously certain people cross paths, but now it's like a whole different aspect. But now I had the blessing to even be the DJ, relate with the DJs, be the promoters, relate with the promoters, and like hiring the talent too. That's a whole nother new thing for me too.
Right.
So I speak on that sense. So when people find out who I am now, I'm not speaking out of my ass. Like, like I've been in nightlife for quite some time.
There's some credibility and foundation there.
And I want everyone to succeed. Like, it's not just about me.
It's not a zero-sum game, you know what I mean? There's enough room for everyone to figure out what they want. And I think kind of tying back to the comparison piece that we just discussed before, that's what you need to focus on. You don't have to be like, why is XYZ person getting opportunities? Just stay in your own lane and see what opportunities you can attract to yourself.
Or just respect everybody.
Straight
up.
Absolutely.
Like, just respect that they're doing their craft. If they're doing it at an elevated state, hey, they figured something out, you didn't.
Absolutely. Like, for example, like let's say like a month from now you get booked to play in Ibiza. What is that taking away from me? I'm like, oh, this is awesome. You know what I mean? Like Darren's playing in freaking Ibiza now. You know what I mean? I'll send you a message, be like, dude, have a great freaking time. You know what I mean? Let me know how it goes.
If I have opportunities to take other people, like I would.
Yeah, but if someone messaged you or if someone's giving you the cold shoulder or the stink eye, you'll remember that also.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to be like, something good came my way and this person had a pretty negative and dismissive response.
I think when you get older and more longer in the industry, you start to have that discernment with other people. I don't hate them for it, but...
No, but it's something you will remember though. Right? You'll keep it in your mind. Like, they did not have the most positive response to something good happening to me.
No hatred, but... Like I said, never lose your cool, always stay professional. I think when you have those two in the back of your head, then you can navigate through nightlife.
Exactly. And I think maybe a lot of that also comes down to maybe not taking things too personally.
Yes.
You know? Which is just good life advice in general.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm only saying this because Dave Gritman, you know who he is, Group Hospitality, live in Miami.
No, I actually don't.
He also owns Bobby Steakhouse, like very big in the hospitality. He's like the Charles Caboose of Miami.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Okay.
And he's all over the place now.
Yeah.
But he has a book called Make It Personal, right?
Okay.
So he's like, if you're not eating at my restaurant, and I've taken care of you so well. And you know, because he goes out of his way to really take care of people. And
right.
To the point where it's like, if you're a server and a customer comes in and he asks for where the washroom is and you point, you're fired. Like you have to walk them. They want the full VIP experience.
Okay.
So anyways, like, you understand, he goes above and beyond with hospitality.
Right.
And when it's not reciprocated in terms of like respect, he takes it personal.
Right. Okay.
Right. Where it's like that I think that's what he means with it. And there's a whole book behind it. But I'm like, there is some merit to it. Well, like, imagine you're a host and you've cared for these people for so long. And then they have that entitlement.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, like, if anything, I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm doing you a favor because I want to help you.
Yeah.
You know, I would appreciate that at least you can just acknowledge and appreciate that on your own.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to give me something back.
Yeah.
But just that baseline acknowledgement
respect.
of like, it's just basic respect. Well, I mean, this is just how the human species survives and functions. Yeah. Right? Everyone is...
Yeah.
We're all part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
You know, so again, whatever food we're eating, food we're eating, water we're drinking, places, this is all humans. This happen.
Whether if he's petty about it, I don't think, apparently he used to be really petty about it, but now he's not. But But I think it has some sort of merit.
There's merit to it. Yeah, I think for me, it's more the point that I'm referring to is that if someone else gets an opportunity, is that you don't take it so personally.
Yes.
Because that's their opportunity. That's their journey.
Don't rob them from the joy of like succeeding.
thief of joy.
Yeah.
So why are you allowing your joy to be stolen because someone else got something because of some other person?
Yeah.
Whatever, man. You know, like if that person wins the lottery because they bought a lottery ticket, that's their life.
Yeah.
It's not your life.
Yeah, like fuck, man. Just be happy for them, man. Like,
yeah.
Because someone in your town,
yes,
made it huge.
Yes. It's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, and there's people all over the world that are making it huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
And again, I think the thing about DJing, I think this is part of the magic of the industry, is that I think if you stay in it long enough, you treat people with respect, you grow in your craft, I think people might be surprised at what opportunities can actually come their way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right? So don't underestimate yourself. Don't limit, don't get into that scarcity limited thinking.
Yeah.
Because maybe at one point, that major artist or that friend that you supported, they'll be like, I'm pulling you up now.
Yeah.
I'm pulling you up.
Yeah.
But you got to be in it.
Yeah.
And you got to keep a good attitude.
But be genuine about it. I feel like you don't have, that goes without saying. Just truly be genuine about it.
Yeah. Just be appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Because if someone is going to pay you to play music, that means there's a lot of things coming into play for that to happen.
Yeah.
Because nobody has to book you to play music and nobody has to pay you.
Yeah.
Those are not obligations that anyone has ever owed.
Do you think nightlife today rewards authenticity or performance?
I mean, if we're being completely honest, seems like the performative aspect of nightlife is really where a lot of the blood is flowing. You know?
I don't know if that's a good question.
Are we live? Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, we are live?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess you're just recording everything raw footage.
Yeah, raw footage, and then we'll cut it up.
Okay, you can put that online and then my career's done.
Give me all the tea.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for for those DJs that spill all the tea.
Yeah.
Like, drop some names.
Drop some names. Oh my God. Oh no. We are keeping things as neutral as possible when it comes to that.
I think we answered this already. What's your relationship with validation right now? This is your personal question.
I think we kind of talked about it.
What is your relationship with validation?
With validation, that's a really good question. You're asking a really good question right there. So I'm actually going to reference George R.R. Martin, the guy who wrote the Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire book series, because they asked him this question also. And he said that as someone who creates and put things out into the world, don't deny the fact that you want recognition, because recognition is important. Because you don't want to just create something out there and then have it ignored.
Because you're not going to do it. Yeah, you can't really.
It's not having any sort of impact.
Yeah.
So, and even the recognition, that's what's going to bring him the opportunities to keep doing it or to keep growing it or to let us do a thing in the world. So I'm going to extend that over to DJing. Like, of course, if you're building a good career, if you're playing good music and you're doing your thing, you want recognition. You want people to recognize that, because not only is that, proof that you're having an impact, that's also where your opportunities are going to come from.
Yeah.
Right? Because otherwise you're invisible. And I think we're all trying to not be invisible as an artist, especially if you want to DJ. Sure, there's a part of you that wants to be out there and, receiving that energy from people, being more in the public eye, I guess. So my personal relationship with validation is that I enjoy it as it comes, but I don't let it override my vision and craft of what it is that I want to build.
Yeah.
Right? This is kind of what we keep coming back to. And maybe this might make me sound like a little bit arrogant, but luckily for me, I don't have imposter syndrome. I've been a musician since I was a teenager. So I will always see myself as a musician, regardless of if I'm getting booked or not, regardless if I'm playing guitar or if I'm DJing, whatever. So that's one aspect maybe where I got lucky, where imposter syndrome is not really a part of my fold, where my challenges maybe more come from getting opportunities or having to navigate politics, which is, it's universal for everyone. For me, it's that I enjoy the recognition and the opportunities that obviously come through it, but I just don't want it to ever sully or override my connection to the music and the vision that I want to build with my sound and what it could grow into. Okay?
It's a good answer.
Yeah, and I would love to turn right around and ask you the same question.
I think validation, let's say whether I get the head nod from other DJs or I get a viral clip online, does feel nice.
Yeah.
Because it is like a natural source of dopamine, but
Right.
it's not my identity. Because let's say I don't get a hit from a video, doesn't make me less of a DJ or less of an artist or less of a person.
Yeah.
So I don't take it personal in that sense.
Right.
But it's also information.
Yes.
Like, how can I optimize as a business person? Like, how am I going to optimize this information to do something better for the next thing?
Right.
So that way, the end goal is what? Get gigs, maybe.
Yeah.
If that's the goal, then then it's very important.
Yeah.
And also to know if I'm actually because I am recently stepping into this. So, do I have what it takes?
Yeah.
And if other people believe in it, then hell yeah. And, do I get imposter syndrome? There are moments where I'm like, but what if this and what if that? I think that's human nature for me to do that. And like I said, I'm freaking out like every time. Whatever it looks like. Stepping into faith that I got to do it anyways. Yeah. And then just see what happens. Have the freedom of outcome. You just step into it because you enjoy doing it. But having that mindset of like, I'm going to be free. Whatever happens after is whatever happens after. Right. And that's just information telling me like, okay, maybe I could work on this thing. Maybe I can work on what if I look back at my things all the time and I make so many mistakes. And if I look back into my first one, I even noticed more mistakes. Right. Then, okay, I could see how far I've grown. Right. Right.
Which is something we're celebrating also.
Exactly. You know? I think I have a hard time of celebrating. Like I told my brother I had over 50 gigs and he's like, you're drinking this shot. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. You've recognized something that I just put my head down. Whether it's my identity or not, because my identity is not what I do. It's like who I am. But he recognized that. And I was like, you know what? I appreciate that. So I took it. I took that as a win. And I celebrated myself with him. I think that's important too. Like, look at your gigs as wins, I guess. Of course. Again, hey, man, you know, I might sound like a broken record, but if someone wants to book you and they want to pay you, maybe even if they don't want to pay you, you're just playing like a house party or an event. Someone wants you to come out there and play your music and be the vibe conductor. Honor that. You know, honor that. Because there's so many options. They don't have to ask you, but there's something within them or the other people that they're working with where they're like, we want Darren. We want Darren to come and play this party because that's who we want. You know? It's flattering. But it's like, geez, you want me? You're paying me to play music? Never thought a day I would do that.
Absolutely, because again, we're not owed anything. You know what I mean? So it's and again, I think it's important it's easy to forget that also. You know, of like, yes, other human beings are still deciding to give me an opportunity and let me do my thing. And I could stand around and say I'm top dog DJ or I'm hot shit or whatever. But that's just your own ego trying to protect itself. Because other human beings are autonomous and they can make their own decisions. You know?
This whole like top shot DJ thing. It's like, is it worth having that ego? It's like we're not. I think we talked. I don't know if we recorded it, but like James Hype literally says, DJs aren't cool. We're nerds. I'm like, I truly believe that. I'm kind of a nerd too.
For sure.
Even like I look at Loud Luxury, for example. They're like ripping Pokemon packs. In music festivals. They're
and they're just giving out cards.
And they make content out of it, but they own it. And then because they own it, you know, they get the views and the likes, and
for sure,
it's part of who they are. And
absolutely,
the crowd resonates with it. Then you have all the Pokemon nerds partying with them. So that's cool.
Who's gonna say? I mean, people can have their views on that, but at the end of the day, they're doing their thing. They're having fun. They're connecting amongst each other. You know, so
I mean, hey, if that's your vibe, being the top shutter DJ, and you want to be super cool, like sure, if you get a crowd and and people are willing to buy tickets, then I can't hate that.
Exactly.
Like, you know, certain DJs that have little skill, but they're on such elevated stages. Takes his shirt off and somehow has all these girls.
The girls behind him.
That's marketable, man. That's just how it is. It's just that's marketable. If it works, it works. That's not me.
Who are we to say anything? You know what I mean?
What I'm saying.
No one's gonna come here and be like, "Oh, Darren and Sid have these opinions about them." Like, they're not gonna give two shits.
So we're gonna do some closing statements, just because we're running out of time. Like, thank you for coming. Honestly,
thank you so much for having me, man.
Very
this was a lot of
fun conversations.
I really enjoyed this,
and I really wanted to know like the artistry side of things, so I can understand artists, like true artists. Like I don't produce my own music. I just DJ and I like to connect with people, but that's my strengths, and I would like to thank you for sharing yours. I'm gonna ask you basically these two questions and just answer it however you want.
Sure.
What is one truth about being an artist that no one really talks about? And if you could talk to the version of yourself that was just starting out, what would you say?
Again, really good question. I think one difficult thing about being an artist is that you are always going to be criticizing yourself, whether you like it or not. You know, and by that I mean it might sound like it's a general answer, but really that inner battle, that relationship with yourself, that's arguably the most difficult relationship that you have as an artist, right? Because when you're creating and you're expressing, you're essentially like, you're working through the stuff that's within you. You're putting your story out there, even if it's not in words. You're putting it out through the medium of music. That can be very challenging, because again, we all have complex lives, we have complex pasts, and maybe making sense of that and being able to distill it and put it out there honestly, it's challenging, and maybe you play a set and people love that set, but you think you could have done better, or maybe you see another, again, we've touched upon this before, you see another artist getting opportunities that you're not getting, and you're like, well, what is it? Do I suck? Am I ugly? Like what's happening, right? So that inner critic, I don't think it really goes away. I think you have to figure out how to develop your relationship with it and manage it. Because, and I'm sure you're aware of this or you've seen this too, that inner critic can actually just destroy your life. That's how people can get into really bad rhythms, where they're maybe engaging in escapism or heavy substance abuse, or just so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
So I think that's a tough thing, and it's an ongoing. I mean, I'm still dealing with that and struggling with it every single fucking day.
Do you think a big part of it is like fear? Fear of rejection.
Yeah, insecurity, and people say fear of rejection. Like, hey man, we all deal with rejection.
Yeah.
Rejection is it's an ingrained part of life. So you're going to deal with rejection whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So it's not even just a fear of rejection; it's having to deal with rejection.
Yeah.
That sucks. Insecurities. We all have interpersonal insecurities, emotional, physical insecurities, dealing with all that. So I'd say that's one of a tough parts. So what I would tell myself, my previous self, is get ready. You're ready to deal with this stuff because you're not going to bypass it, and the more you look to get in the public eye, the more you want to build up as an artist, the more you want to build your profile, the greater that spotlight is going to get cranked. Even if you're doing it at the local level, even if you're not headlining festivals or playing internationally, even if you're just getting more and more club bookings or local bookings, that spotlight is going to get turned up whether you like it or not, and you're going to be exposed, right? So just get ready for it. And
I mean, the artistry is like a version of yourself that you're putting out there, and it's like we crave that validation, we crave that wanting to be liked or wanting to be accepted. So I feel like that it's personal. I think artistry is very, very personal, and I think as I'm starting to get it, I wouldn't consider myself a softie, but I am getting into more of my personality, or at least a different side of it, a sensitive side. And it's like I feel it. I'll be the first to admit, like I'm starting to be sensitive when I feel it.
No, that's great. And I mean, again, it shows that you're on the journey. Right. And if I can extrapolate, kind of extend this more into like that spiritual realm of the duality of the yin and the yang. Right. Like I think you are, as an artist, you have to tap into that. Because, for example, like let's say you're like a rugby player or a football player. That's all yang. Right. That's all like, just like that super masculine, aggressive energy where it's all strength and force and warrior. But then when you get into the artist side, this is when you get more into like the sensitive, the emotional, the intuitive side. And you know what? I love, and maybe obviously because you do Muay Thai, right? So you're obviously doing the physical side. For me, like I don't really play sports, but I love lifting weights. You know what I mean? Like, or even doing yoga, which is kind of a blend of the two. So I can maybe get a little bit more of my warrior energy there. But then with the music, you get to do the more emotional, expressive side. And I feel like that makes me feel at least more like a balanced human being in general. Right? So I think embracing that is important.
It's important to have definitely both sides.
Right. If you want to be a balanced human being, it's about having both, right? And you lean one too much into the other, and hey, maybe everyone's different.
I think it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a garden in a war. I'm sure you heard that one before.
I've definitely heard that one before, And I'm going to even extend before that. I think what is great is if you can be a warrior and a poet. You can be both, right? So you want to be that Spartan soldier who can stand at the front lines and freaking take on the enemy. And then you can sit back at home and you can read poetry or play your instrument or sing your song.
I like that.
You can do both, that balance. That's how I want to live. At least, to have both.
And that's what makes you a dangerous human being.
Exactly. It's that you've embraced both. You're not suppressing either. You are the warrior and the poet. It's the yin and the yang. You have the duality working in harmony together.
I love that. Man. So good.
So good. Man. Awesome. I appreciate that.
Definitely want to have you back because I have a lot of more questions for sure.
Oh no, I love this.
I guess if I were to talk to the audience, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be one of many sessions with many artists, just to kind of expose like the industry and like what Toronto is like really about.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not just Toronto, but just like the community in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just what a great talk. It's a lot of growth. Got a lot of growth here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just want to say, Darren, thank you so much. You know what I mean, right? Like, I'm so excited to see you stepping into your artist role. You know what I mean? Like, we've just crossed paths recently, but we've talked so much about it, and it's a beautiful thing.
Cut from the same cloth. Yeah,
absolutely. And we're doing the content thing now, and I really appreciate you having me on here. You know, I haven't had an opportunity in the 5 years that I've been doing this for someone who actually wants to hear my story. So, you know, this is great. I love it.
Awesome, man.
This makes me feel like an artist. So I appreciate that.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.